Okay, welcome to this week's Wealth Creation Show. Now, we live in the most entertained generation in history, and yet more people feel distracted, anxious, and stuck than ever before. So, in this episode, we're going to explore a quiet but uncomfortable question. What if constant entertainment is actually costing us more than we actually realise? Now, this is not a rant, and it's not anti-technology, and it's not about guilt or discipline. It's a calm, honest conversation about attention, distraction, fulfillment, and why so many people feel like they're running, but they're actually not moving. If you've ever wondered why focus feels harder, why time disappears, or progress feels slower than it should, then this episode is going to give you the language for something that you'll probably have felt for a long time, I would say. Richard, what's your thoughts on this? This is quite a frightening episode as far as I'm concerned. Come to terms with the fact that we are literally entertaining ourselves to death.
Yeah, it's quite controversial, and it's quite an eye-opener, if anything. When you think about, like you say, we've got all these things at our fingertips and methods and things for communication, but they're actually stopping us interacting on a personal level.
Well, let me ask, when was the last time you were bored? Let me ask everybody out there, when was the last time you were bored? Think about that.
Mm-hmm.
We're not. We're almost designed to keep picking up our phone all the time, aren't we? And it's become a really bad habit. It's almost like reaching for a cigarette. I remember what it was like used to smoke, because I used to smoke when I was younger, and it was like when you were in an environment where you were a bit uncomfortable socially, you would immediately pick up a cigarette. But it seems like that's now been replaced by a vape or a phone.
Yeah. And it's like we don't really get a lot of time to sit. I mean, what do we do now? Do people sit alone with their thoughts? No, because you probably just pick up your phone.
Yeah. Nobody sits alone with their thoughts anymore. Look at that experiment that went ahead. The experiment was they sat 1,000 students in a corner. They had an electric shock machine on one side, and they said, we want it to sit there for an hour and actually just sit on that chair and do nothing in complete silence. The majority of students, but you can play with that thing that gives you a huge electric shock over in that corner. The majority of students actually went over and played with the electric shock. Yeah, because they couldn't actually sit bored. It wasn't possible for them to do that because their brain was so, the neural pathways in your brain are all constructed, and they were constructed to want engagement all the time. They were wired for that. Sit. When you think about it, look, let's just sit for 2 or 3 seconds. How many people felt uncomfortable about that?
Silence does make people feel uncomfortable.
It's amazing, how that is. I mean, when was the last time you actually did nothing? That would be interesting to hear from everybody here.
Yeah.
And think about this. We might be the first generation in history afraid of being alone with our minds.
Yeah, no, that's interesting, because if you watch a lot of period dramas and things like that, not that if you do, they take a lot of time to sit with their own thoughts and reflect.
What's changed though?
But we don't do that nowadays, and that's something that seems a bit alien to us, especially the millennial generation and things, and the new generation. Yeah.
Think about this. Look, entertainment used to be scheduled. There was a time when you remember, where you actually, if you wanted to watch the next episode of Doctor Who, it was on the following week.
You had to wait on it, yeah.
Yeah, you always had to wait, and it is just now. But the problem with that is the fact that most episodes are actually all streamed online now, and I've been watching the one Can You Keep a Secret with Don French, which is absolutely a fantastic series.
All right, yeah, I've seen the
Yeah, it's a
trailer.
really good one. It's so funny. Dawn French is fantastic. I love her. But you can binge watch it. A Thousand Blows, Disney Plus. You can binge watch it. That was never used to be like that. So everybody's consumed now at watching binge watch. There's never been more probably to watch online than ever before because of that. You can see everybody competing for the same space, can't you?
Yeah. Yeah, and there's such an abundance of different, like you say, bingeable content and shows and things that there's always something there. And actually, it's interesting because I think things like Apple TV and that, these streaming services actually only stream the episodes on a weekly basis, like what TV used to do. And I've seen people complain about it because they're like, I just want it all to watch it once. I don't want to sit and wait week to week now.
Yeah, your phones kind of eliminate that friction, doesn't it? Because you can watch it on your phone now, and you know if you just turn it sideways. I mean, even I've got a stand and everything when you're on a plane. So no longer you used to get on a plane and you would be on the plane and you would talk to other people sitting next to you.
Yeah.
But now it's you just put your earpods in, you put your wee stand up, and you watch your stuff online. You're no longer talking to anybody. You're no longer interacting with anybody.
Yeah, it's taking away that initial
potentially just missed an opportunity, aren't you?
Yeah.
Boredom really no longer exists by default. It doesn't.
No. No, because if people are feeling like, oh, I'm going to be bored, I'll just pick up my phone.
Yeah, and when you, I think as well the phrase that I would think of, we didn't actually lose discipline. We actually lost space overall.
Right. Okay.
So we're not losing the ability to. We're not really losing. We've not lost discipline. We've just lost space because we're getting so bombarded. Overall, I think it's because we're getting bombarded with everything. We're just not. We've not got. You can't go anywhere without actually having to interact with something now. Hence the reason why I actually go down diving. That's one of the key reasons I go diving.
Get away from everybody.
When you go down, the world switches off.
Get away from everything. Yeah.
When you go in the mountains, the world switches off. So that's why people go diving. That's why people go up in the mountains. That's why they go to these places. They go to retreats. Whereas I think the next thing in the future will probably you'll have these retreats that actually people just disappear for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and they just go off grid completely.
Yeah.
There's a classic probably a retreat. It's like off grid.
Yeah.
You'll have people. People are now starving, not for attention anymore. They're starving for silence.
Because there's just no matter where you go or what you do, there's always something in the background.
Well, what happened? Listen, look at it like this. What happened before smartphones?
Yeah, all these spaces in your day, and even like when people come home at night, they all sit on their phone and scroll. Everybody does it. But think about what we all done before. Smartphones and.
When I was young, we used to go to somebody's door and say, "You coming to play football?"
As soon as you got home, you were out. You were out doing something.
Now it's like, "Are you coming to play something online?" Completely different.
Yeah.
Completely different approach. So it's not a face to face. We're online now. We're no longer interacting with each other. No longer physical. It's just a mental thing. It's a complete difference in dynamic. Watching the one TV show, as I said, versus the binge culture now. Waiting rooms, bus stops, queues, outside a pub where everybody used to talk when they were smoking. Now everybody's on their phones.
You spoke the other day about an instance at was it a bus stop or somebody you passed by? And
right across from where we had our meeting. You looked at the window and they were all just sitting there on their phones.
Yeah.
None of them talking to each other really.
Whereas in times gone, that's where you would sit and have a stand and have a conversation in a waiting room or outside a pub or on the bus.
This is a real test for most people out there. Tell me truthfully and tell yourself truthfully, what's the first thing you reach for when you've got 30 seconds free?
I know what the answer is. Yeah. That's what she's got to say. Definitely my phone.
It becomes a habit, doesn't it? It's
Yeah.
quite a frightening habit, in all honesty. It's why entertainment works so well, I would say. It's the key here is the things like dopamine versus fulfillment. It's the dopamine you get from being fulfilled in terms of what it gives you. Why do you think videos that you're seeing on cat videos, what does it make you feel? It makes you feel emotional, doesn't it? People want to feel. People like to feel, but the problem is you're interacting with a video. Look at ChatGPT. It reaffirms and talks to you as if you're right all the time. It never says you're wrong. It says, "Oh, it's a good question." It's like, so where do you think you're going to go when you want to feel right and you want to feel good about yourself? You interact with AI for that reason, because you don't want to interact with a human in case they give their unwanted opinion and it's not what you like, not what you want them to say. These are the things that we need to take stock of. It's that dopamine that we get all the time. It's classic. It goes back to playing computer games. It goes back to the arcade games that used to play. Well, I used to play like Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
Like Space Invaders, like Asteroids, like Defender. These are all the different things, because when you won, you felt euphoria because you were getting that dopamine spike, because you were winning. That's what kept you addicted to them. They've now taken that same addiction algorithm and they've actually applied it into social media. Instagram. No sure if X is doing it that well. Don't think they are. I think
it's true what you say when you say about cat videos, and the algorithm on my phone is more dog videos sometimes. And if it's a rescue video, it'll be that sad song at the beginning, and you're like, oh, and then I'm invested because I want to see it. I want to see it get picked up and taken care of. Do you know? Or if it's a funny one, do you know, it'll be fun, and you get pulled in that way.
Yeah, the brain prefers that easy reward, doesn't it? I just want the quick win. I want the quick hit.
Yeah,
I want that. Could I be controversial and say it's right up there with alcohol and cigarettes and drugs?
For scrolling and.
I'll be honest, alcohol and cigarettes are drugs, but I just wanted to separate them in a different category. So it's like you would say, oh, hard drugs. Well, I would argue they're hard drugs as well. To be honest, they probably do more damage to your body. But it's true.
To pick up this and scroll and go down the rabbit hole, as they call it, is a really addictive thing.
Entertainment's, but then I'll play devil's advocate here and I'll say entertainment isn't really evil. It's efficient. Your brain doesn't care about your future, really. All it cares about is how it can get that wee hit and how it can get that dopamine spike. Because that's what you're wired to do as humans. We're wired to do that. The reward system encourages us to go and do something effectively in order to get that reward system. But now we're not doing that. They've worked out how to get that to spike without you doing it. That's why sugar is so addictive, because sugar represents vitamin C to your body. It doesn't know it's not vitamin C. It thinks because it's sweet, it's a fruit, and it knows fruit's got vitamin C. Therefore, it says, oh, we love that, keep consuming that. And then as a result, it gives you a reward and a dopamine hit when you take the sugar. And that's why sugar becomes addictive. That's why milk becomes addictive as well, because it's got casein in it, and casein is designed to be addictive as well. And so this is the thing. It's like we get all these addictions, but we also get the addictions to entertainment, which is what we talked about. And it's like, and it's that thing. It's the thing about. Is it a trust building thing, but no shaming? Because there's no shame in it because nobody knows about it. It's just between you and their lap. It's just between
you and your phone.
Yeah, that's it. No one knows about it. So it's probably that sort of thing that everybody feels uncomfortable about, but they're actually comfortable about it because no one else knows about it. And it's the voyeuristic aspect as well. I can get to see what other people are doing without them knowing. Because remember, you used to get trace. You used to get some of these sites, LinkedIn especially, used to tell you everybody that visited your profile.
TikTok does that. I think if you click on the profile, it shows you all your views.
Yeah. So and Facebook does that on stories, doesn't it?
Yes.
It tells you who's viewed it. But it actually doesn't tell you on the post who's actually viewed it.
No, or your page, no.
And I'll be honest, that's probably deliberate because they want to retarget that person and keep that information for themselves and make money out of it. That's the reason why. And so this is all driven by these companies on a profit motive basis. And that's why that's why they want to keep you addicted to it. That's why you've got 2 or 3 attempts to get out of TikTok before you do anything.
So know about 3 or 4. Sometimes
yeah. Oh, of course. Because if you take 30 seconds and watch something when you're trying to get out, then it puts you back and resets you to the next 3 times. And then you try again and you get caught in another one and 30 seconds passes and you're back to another 3 times. So I'm guilty. I'm honest, I'm guilty about this. I have gone on my phone to do one thing, and then an hour later, I've actually not done it, and I've been on social media all that time.
Sidetracked so much, yeah.
And I'm wondering, how on earth did that happen? Because I never intended for it to happen. I went on to do one thing, and ended up doing something else.
I was going to dare I say it's amazing how it's done, but as you say, it's efficient. It's not evil. It's efficient because it does very well what it's set out to do, and that is to pull you in.
Yeah. So here's a couple of questions you've got to ask yourself for anybody tuning in. What happens after a 3-hour scroll? How do you feel? Do you feel better? Or do you feel emptier after being on for 3 hours?
That's a good question.
Well, how do you feel, Richard?
I think it just depends what you've watched. If you've watched a lot of rubbish videos that are just mindless, like funny videos, then you think, oh God, I've just wasted my time. If you're watching something educational or something that you're interested in and learning, then you might feel a bit more fulfilled and better about it. So I do actually
feel guilty. It's like I have spent X amount of time on this.
3 hours is a long time.
No reason, for no productive reason at all.
Yeah.
Nothing. You've been given other people advice and information it probably wasn't asked for in the first place, or you've been commenting on stuff it probably wasn't asked for in the first place. I don't tend to do that anymore, but in the past I have. And you think to yourself, why am I wasting my time with that? I don't even know these people. What is the point? What's the point of getting into an argument with somebody from America?
I know.
About Trump? Who cares? Who cares?
It could be an endless.
So why do we do that? It makes no sense at all. I think it's all down to attention. It's the attention economy.
Yeah.
But who really wins out of that?
It's the company that's whatever video you're watching. It's the company. It's the product. It's the producer, not the consumer. You're the consumer. It's the attention seeker. It's the attention giver as such. It's all monetized for your attention.
Yeah, attention equals money.
Mm-hmm.
It's attention beats marketing every day.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Whether it's good or bad attention. We all know people that are very negative online, but they attract an audience because these people are like that as well. Look at political parties. There's a classic example. I'll bet you deep down, we all have the same goal, which is for everybody to benefit, everybody to be looked after, everybody to be healthy. We'd all want that. There's nobody out there that would say no, I don't want everybody to be healthy. Everybody to be looked after, everybody. But we all have a different impression of how that could be done. Hence the reason why we have different political parties with different thoughts on how that could be done.
Yeah.
And that's why we align with those parties. Did you realize that most of these parties, 95% of the time, actually agree with themselves? Their policies agree with each other 95% of the time. It's only 5% that actually don't disagree on. And yet, that seems to be the focal point for everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems to be the focal point for everything. But for them and for everything else and for social media channels, attention does equal monetization. Platforms optimize the time spent, not the well-being.
Yeah.
They're not remotely interested in how somebody feels after the experience. Their business model is set up to keep you on there for more and more time. They can show you more and more adverts.
Yeah.
Now, there's nothing wrong with that. But as users and consumers, we have to realize that that's what they're doing. They're not there for your benefit. They're keeping you on there for their benefit. That's why free products have business models.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, classic. Reel you in. I'm doing a free course on how to be successful in property. But everything they tell you there will have another course that comes off it.
Upsell.
Yeah, it's an upsell straight away. Oh, this cost £5,000, but if you buy today and run at the back of the room, we've only got 11 places. Notice I didn't say 10, I say 11, because everybody goes, oh, 11, okay. We've only got 11 places. Run at the back of the room, you can get it for £1,998. Notice how I said 98 there. And I didn't say 99.
Not 99.
So it sounds like the 99 pence, £1 scenario. But 1,998 doesn't sound like that, or 1,997. And that's why they do it, the free products. Here's and it's going to be contentious. If you're not paying, you're paying with your attention.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
So if you're not paying for what you're getting, look at Amazon Prime.
Mm-hmm.
You can pay to watch without adverts now. That never used to be the case.
No.
They've monetized that now. And so they've taken most of the advertising off for someone else. Possibly the terrestrial channels. ITV. Channel 4.
Yeah.
These people suffer. They eat their lunch, basically. Because people are on Amazon and they're watching it for free. And then the next minute, it's like, okay, you're going to have to pay. You're going to have to pay if you don't want the adverts, or we're showing them. So we make money that, but you're getting your attention. If you relax, for example, someone else compounds.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're relaxing what you're doing, then someone else is getting ahead of you. Again, the attention economy.
Yeah, it's so easy for somebody to, like you say, steal your dinner. If you know.
They're definitely after the classic example. They get your attention, they collate your data, they bring in, they show you the ad that's relevant to you, and they get paid for it.
Yeah, and the money, the profit's always at the end of this scenario.
And then they split a bit of the profit with people like us.
Mm-hmm.
That's it, really. I mean, it's not a lot of money, and it goes to charity anyway, so it gets given away. But it's the very fact that it's something you need to be aware of, but it's not something you should be. It's not a conspiracy thing. It's not
something
like,
you should be worried about.
It's not. They're not out to get us or anything like that. Tell you what, you could just stop watching it. You could just stop. You could stop anytime you like. It's like, I don't like that channel. I used to laugh at them when they used to write into Point of Views and said, I thought that was absolutely ridiculous, that programme. They did this and they did that and they did this. And I felt like saying, I used to say all the time, it's like, well, you didn't need to watch it. You could have just changed the channel and watched something else. So why? And yet you think about the amount of time they had to spend and put all that together and actually have their argument and then send it in. That's mental, eh?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, just don't watch it. Don't comment on somebody's post that you don't agree with then. If you don't agree with them and you think you don't want a conversation, really, you just don't comment. Or what you do is you comment with your comment or your input, and then you say, do not send me any notifications about this.
Yeah, like, this is not for
and then
me.
You just leave it. It's like you walked into a group of people and just put a truth bomb in and then walked away again.
Yeah.
That's how to wind everybody up, eh? So here's one for an audience poll. Do you think these platforms are neutral? Stick something in the comments. Do you think these platforms are neutral? Yes, no, you're no sure. I don't know. Do you think they're neutral? That's what you got to think about. So here's the connection, the quiet damage they're doing to you. Connection distraction is probably leading you to stagnation, because you're connected to something else and it's distracting you from it. Therefore, you're not growing where you should be growing in terms of your life. Maybe your relationships with your partner, maybe your relationships with yourself, maybe relationships with your mother and father, maybe your relationships with your children, you've got them, maybe relationships with your friends. You are not growing because you're completely connected to this. It's distracting you.
Yeah, it's like the shiny penny thing. Your attention's going somewhere else when it should be focused.
And this is your wealth. It's the people round about you, but also monetary wise, it's wealth requires delayed gratification. It requires that sort of thing. It focuses on things like compounding, and distraction resets progress daily. How many times have you had a list of stuff to do for that day? Yeah, you see what's coming, eh? And you get distracted. And you think to yourself, God,
I'm meant to be doing these things that I had to do. Yeah.
I've got a marathon to run. I've got to train for it. I have got to run 30 minutes today, and I have still not done it. But I'll go straight on after this, and I'll go straight on the treadmill, because that's why I've got a treadmill in the house to make it efficient. Because it's icy outside, I do not want to fall, but I need to train in order to keep me on track to be able to do the marathon, and then ultimately the ultra marathon, which I'm now committed to today. It's like, God,
another thing I had to the list.
Yeah, committed to an ultra marathon. Yeah, today. I'm just trying to think which one it is again. Yeah, is that ultra marathon? Here we go. I've got that. God, I've got 2 marathons and an ultra marathon. Oh, it's the William Wallace Ultra.
I was going to say, you've not got another thing scheduled in as
well. I've got the Edinburgh Marathon.
Yeah.
Then I've got the Loch Ness Marathon. After that, I've got the William Wallace Ultra. Towards the end of the year, thank God.
Yeah.
I'll need to get a couple of marathons under my belt, and then I'll move up to ultra. So that's the sort of mentality. But see how it's easy to get distracted.
Yeah.
If I was if I was going to get distracted and I wasn't going to do that, if you're ever doing something and you're doing it for a long-term plan, you can miss one day, but do not miss 2 days on the trot.
Or you'll be chasing your tail for a while to try and get back on track.
It's you begin to lose the habit. If you miss one day, that's okay. If you miss 2 days, your mind starts to lose the habit of doing it. And then if you go on holiday and you just stop it completely, it's a bit difficult to start it up again. You've got to be really disciplined to do that. Yeah. I found that when I went to America, and I also found that when I came back from Kilimanjaro, because I needed a rest period in between. And it was that trying to just pick up the baton again and actually just get back into it.
Back on track, yeah.
So I think it's the quiet damage it does. You don't. I mean, you think it's easy. It's because it's so easy just to go out and say, I tell you what, I'm going to go out for a 30-minute run. And then you think to yourself, well, 30-minute run is no bother. It's easy. I could just miss that out. It's not going to harm my training. But imagine if you did that every other day and you started missing all the 30-minute runs, then you're never going to get back to that point where you could run the marathon. Yeah. And that's the sort of thing. So nothing is taken from you. It's slowly leaked.
Yeah.
It slowly leaks away from you. You don't you think it's so easy to do whatever it is. And then you start to miss the opportunities for that, of that. You miss these opportunities overall. And then what else happens, Richard?
And your distraction onto different things takes you away from what you should be focusing on, and you'll not finish it. Do you know? And then you've got all these different projects and things that you're meant to be doing, and they're all left unfinished.
I'll tell you a good one recently. Diary of a CEO.
Yeah.
I'm watching this lady, and she's telling me about what alcohol does to your body. Another guy comes on, I see another episode come up, and it talks about mortgages, why you shouldn't have a mortgage, or what, or something like that. Or something.
Yeah.
And I went, this is quite interesting. And I thought, alcohol, it's like, I kind of know where that's going. Tell you what, I'll jump over to this one. And I watched that one. And I'm about a third of the way through that one. And then who comes on? Tony Robbins. And it's like, oh my God, the guru of everything. There's like mindset and attitude and everything. Tony Robbins. He's talking about, you need to know this and do this now. That's what it says in the headline. So designed, clickbait, see that?
And that you immediately takes your...
Yeah, and I immediately jumped on the God almighty, Tony Robbins, I've got to watch him first. So I've got to get through Tony Robbins, then I've got to go back to these two, but something else is going to come up.
Yeah.
So I've got to discipline myself to go, no, I'll go back to these two. And books. So I've still got 2 books to read because I've got another 2 books, but I'm still on Tony Robbins, The 7 Secrets of Wealth and Strategy.
Yeah.
Of money, effectively. And it's a big book. I mean, it's a huge book. It's like The Intelligent Investor. It's about like 1,000 pages or something like that. But it's worth its weight in gold, and I know I should watch. I know I should definitely watch it. So that's the thing: is the book's half read. It's the ideas never executed. And I think the question I would ask the audience tuning in just now and watching is, what would your life look like if you had an extra hour of focus every single day? An hour.
An hour. See, what I ultimately think is that a lot of people might think, oh, it's just an extra hour. But then I always think, do you know, if that hour every day over the space of a year and 2 years, and that's so much more time.
Remember, it's focus.
Yeah. To focus.
Remember, I just said focus, not just sit and do nothing.
Yeah.
It's like you've got an extra hour, and it allows you to focus on what you want to do. What would that be worth to you? Over a year, it ain't worth 365% or 365 hours.
No.
It compounds to 2,700 odd. Because you're an hour and learning another hour on top. So one's reliant on the other, and it compounds all the way up. And actually, overall, and that's how you do things like master's degrees and stuff like that. They say a ScotVic module. So a ScotVic module is like the equivalent of a learning in one subject, and apparently a ScotVic module takes 40 hours of learning, and that's how they do it. 40 hours of learning. So when you think about the logic of that, then you could either learn in a whole week that module, like 8 hours a day for 5 days. You could do it over every other week. So you could take 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks. You could take 2 weeks to do it because every other week. Or you could do it every other day, and it would take you even longer. You could do it an hour every month. It'd take you 40 months in. It depends how focused you are in order to fulfill that. That's the most important part. Yeah. And that's why you've got to make sure that you definitely look at that and stop getting distracted.
Yeah.
Entertainment versus fulfillment.
Yeah. I mean, we've spoke a lot about entertainment and whether that's, through TV or through social media and things, but it's not always a bad thing. It's just kind of maybe reframing it, not to ban it entirely. We're not saying social media is terrible, don't look at it. It's to reframe it and redefine it. So to think about how you actually let it influence you and how you spend your time on TV shows or social media.
I used to, and I think it applies to the phone. This saying is like, the television is the one-eyed monster that sits in the corner of your room, and it will suck the brain out of you if you let it. And I kind of think that's what social media is like for some people. You don't realize it's happening, but it's gradually taken away. This, I jokingly say when Love Island comes on, oh my God, I got a glimpse of it and my IQ dropped 5 points. and I had to change the channel quickly.
Yeah, it's not something I've ever.
But I don't watch things like that because it's not really going to fulfill anything in my life. It's not going to make any difference in my life. It's not going to entertain me because I'll just get totally irate and upset about the fact that they're just a bunch of
Something that's not even
fannies running about
relevant.
the screen. Aye, idiots, just being stupid and trying to get attention and do exactly what we're doing here, distracting people.
Yeah.
And that's pretty mind-numbing overall for me. But for some other people, yeah, if that floats your boat and you love that, then there's nothing. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying it's no for me. That's all.
Yeah.
Because it won't lead me to any goals I want to aspire to.
If somebody wants to watch something like that, to, like you say, an entertainment kind of numbing thing, just to kind of tune out, and that's what they do, then that's your choice, I suppose.
Well, entertainment numbs the mind, but fulfillment actually stretches it. So for some people that might be fulfilling. But what I'm talking about, entertainment as well, you can include things like, I don't know, climbing mountains. For some people that would numb them, but for other people that would be inspiring. They'll love to do that, hills and mountains, and go out and run and mountain bike and all these different things. One feels good now, and one feels good after. That's quite a good one. You know, that one feels good now in the moment, but overall, the fulfillment actually stretches you and makes you feel good after.
Yeah, that's quite good actually, because if you watch, do you know, if you binge TV series and things, it feels good while you're watching it. You go to the gym or you work out or you go cycling or you go hill walking. Hill walking inclines for me is such a challenge, but after it you feel brilliant because you're like, I've done it. I feel better. Yeah. I feel energized. I feel achieved, like a sense of achievement. So yeah, you're absolutely right.
So discomfort then isn't a sign that you're. So I'm just going to say that discomfort isn't a sign that you're doing something wrong.
Which
discomfort
is
yeah. I would say discomfort is no, you're not doing something wrong. It's designed to be. You're designed to be uncomfortable in certain situations in order to allow you to grow. And discomfort is probably because you've never been in that situation before. So that it's okay to be uncomfortable with the situation. I mean, I always used to. I still say it today. I just got sick and tired of being sick and tired. I just had enough. I just thought I'm not going to do that anymore because it's not going to lead me to where I want to go, and I'm going to focus on doing this. I think that's what is good to move forward with.
Yeah, I think there's always like the two sides of it. Like you're saying, obviously you were sick and tired of being sick and tired, and then you kind of enter that kind of realm of like, I need to do something, like escapism. But then you get people that just want to just find time to rest. You know, you've got these two things. But then I think,
but your argument would be that, you know, people want to rest. My argument would be people want to escape.
Yeah, and do things.
But there is a happy medium there somewhere.
I believe there is as well. But then I also think that people kind of confuse what rest is. Do you know, I want to rest, but then are you just sitting about doing nothing for a big period of your day or your week? That's not rest. That's kind of wasting time, in my opinion. Do you know?
Rest. I think rest is about being alone with your thoughts, which is quite a scary thing for some people, for most people actually, and actually just not actually having any input. In other words, no music. Diving. Classic example. World switches off as soon as you go under that water. Everything goes silent. Apart from the Jaws music, it plays in your mind. You're going down, as you're going down deeper and deeper in the dark, especially in the lochs. It's like, wow, you get over that eventually. There is nothing in the dark except the seal. Probably the seal's watching you. But they'll not come near you see, because they're afraid. So they just keep away from you. And then they pop their head above on the surface when you go up to the boat. But that's the sort of thing. It's and it's as you say, what do you confuse with rest? I mean, what what do you think rest is? For some people, rest is actually putting earphones in and listening to music.
I was just listening to music or looking at your phone and things. People are, I'm just going to chill and do this, but then you're not really, because you're not letting your mind.
That is not rest.
No, you're not letting your mind slow down.
Yeah, I think there comes a time where you absolutely have to rest. Me going out running is rest because I do not listen to any music.
Mm-hmm.
I just let my mind relax. Me going swimming is rest.
Yeah.
And that sounds really daft because it's like, wait a minute, you're expending all that energy running and swimming. But it's like, I'm talking about your mind resting.
Yeah. For me, it's I take the dog out for a walk, and depends, you know, it's the weekend, but then I kind of think of that to be a bit of recalibration period. You know, it gives me time just to kind of level back.
Rest.
Yeah.
That is rest and that is relaxation because you take the dog out for a walk, and that's what a lot of people do. And this then makes you think about the logic about why do successful people look boring?
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I am a boring fart. It's honestly.
But then
and
people that look at your social media might not think that.
Yeah, I will. Well, if I was to look at me from a point of view that I was 10, 20 years ago, I would look at me and go, this guy's boring. And the reason for that is because I don't drink anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I don't smoke anymore. I'm a vegan,
yeah,
which is for some people is just like the ultimate, the ultimate thing about like, oh my God, this guy's tragic. I don't take caffeine anymore. So it's like, what does this guy do? And it's like, and yet, if you look at my social media profile, it's like I'm up mountains, I'm down in the depths, I'm running, I'm cycling, I'm swimming, and it's like, do I look bored? No, really.
Yeah.
But for some people, if you said that you don't do any of these things, they immediately go, you must be bored.
Yeah, what do you do? And it's like, well, here's what I do. Yeah.
I try to get early nights. It's pub, as soon as it hits 10 o'clock or something like that, like, yeah, I'm away home. I'm almost, before I go out, when I have to go out to a pub or something like that, I look at my watch and go, oh, it's 7 o'clock. I'll probably be out of here by 9. I managed to stay to 10. I'll actually really enjoy myself, but I discipline myself and say, nah, come on, leave. Because I know if you go to 12 o'clock and then you go to your bed and you get up in the morning, you'll be tired. You'll not have had the right sleep. And that'll probably make it worse later on. So I have I normalize boredom as you know, just one of these things. It's just, yeah, you learn to be bored with yourself. It's not a flaw. It's actually it's a strength as far as I'm concerned, to be able to learn to be able to do that.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of people will associate with being boring, in their opinion, is, you know, being quite repetitive and like you say, the early nights, and and having early nights and having that structure over complete chaos and a lot of noise around you.
Yeah.
Oh, but then that leads to a boring life. But then that's how a lot of successful people are successful, because
I have the same breakfast every morning. Train 5 days a week running. Try to fit in strength and conditioning. Still working on that. And I have the same lunch almost. This is it. You see that most of the times, eh?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
You see that most of the shows. That's it. And then the only thing that varies is sometimes is what I eat at night. That's it. And everything's pretty predictable. I know exactly what I'm doing, where I'm going, where I'm going. It's that there is a lot of structure involved in what I do.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, that's possibly why some people would think I'm successful at what I do. If you're gonna measure it in money terms, it's like, yeah, I'm highly successful at what I do.
Yeah, but then, like I was saying about people that have maybe the chaos and the noise, and that's all very entertaining and all the rest of it. But you, like you say, your structure allows you to compound, and it has allowed you to compound a wealth. But your boring days, do you know, and you're kind of evidence of that. Boring days build extraordinary lives.
Yeah,
like
I will do today what others will not, to achieve tomorrow what others cannot.
So the people running about with chaotic lives are not climbing mountains and diving and
a
traveling
rolling
across America.
stone gathers no moss.
Mhm.
Younger generation will. I never got that. I thought, what the hell are you talking about? It's
And
like
then
when
it'll
people
finally
used to
fell
say
into
that to me.
place.
My dad used to say that to me a lot. A rolling stone gathers no moss. And it's like, what are you talking about? I just don't get that. And eventually it clicked. It was like, oh, he sat me down one day and he said, yo, what it is like, if you keep jumping from place to place, you'll never build any traction in any area. Therefore, you'll never achieve anything because you're jumping from place to place. It's
You're not going.
chaotic.
Yeah.
And it's so true. It's definitely so true, I would say. And that's what we don't realize what's going on. High performers, I've observed lots of high performers. I
Yeah.
mean, most people will know Richard Branson is the one I observed the most. And I've been up close and personal with Richard. And I tell you what, yeah, he's pretty boring. But I tell you, but he's routine and structured. But when you look at what he does, it's like he's all over the place. He's all over the world. He's living some people's dreams about traveling the world, and he's traveling it for free.
Yeah.
And then also he's actually fit, active, and healthy as a result of stuff that he does religiously every single day. Kite surf, playing chess for his mind, playing tennis first thing in the morning. He's straight for tennis. And then he's got a Sunday and a Wednesday, he's got a bike ride over at Virgin Gorda. 700 meters up, 700 meters down, 700 meters back, 700 meters down on a mountain bike. And it is like that. I am not kidding. Yeah. There's times that I had to get off my bike a couple of times because I thought, if I stand up on this, I'm going to end up doing a wheelie and going right over the back.
Yeah.
I mean, to put the pressure on to get up.
I couldn't. I mean, that at present, I couldn't cycle that. I mean, it would take a lot of training. You obviously train. I couldn't have done it on a bike.
So, but you own your own routine changes. Think about that. What do you do? What should you be doing on a routine basis in order to achieve that? And what stopped moving the needle overall? That's the sort of things you've got to think. What stopped moving that needle for you where you were? That's why successful people look boring. I mean, you wouldn't relate to Jeff Bezos. I mean, you would if you're in business, and I do, because it's like I'm that type of person as well, in terms of calm, collected, methodical, structured, routine-led, all the rest of it. But Bezos is like that as well. Is Musk like that? No, he's a bit of hit or miss. He's a way out there, and maybe it's a bit of a but he builds a dream and he tells stories, and that's what gets everybody to buy into him in terms of what he does. And that's how he gets attention, doesn't he? He gets what we call the limelight shined on him. You know, you always want to be in the limelight, especially if you're trying to get attention. And so it's empowering, but without the overwhelming.
Yeah. Maybe
Musk overwhelms himself a bit. That's probably why he takes ketamine.
But you're right.
Himself.
You're talking about reclaiming that attention and having that empowerment without maybe overdoing it. So
let's talk about three subjects here.
Yeah.
Richard. Create before consuming. So in other words, before you consume something, create something.
Build something.
Do something that's going to put you further forward. What other one do you think we should talk about?
I think the on-screen free block per day, like making time where you don't actually pick up your phone and use that time to, like you say, just kind of.
I think that would frighten some people right now, you saying that.
I probably would, but yeah, I think
I'll say it again.
So beneficial.
The one screen free block per day. In other words, one screen, don't look at it for 1 day. So your phone, don't look at that for 1 day. I think people who have palpitations just think about that right now.
I would find it different. I mean, it's part of my daily life in terms of work and things. But I think looking at your laptop computer screen is very, very different from your phone screen. I think your phone screen, your phone screen's a lot more has a bigger impact in terms of distracting your attention.
There's one thing that I do as well. Another thing, I actually schedule boredom.
Just that time.
You see it in my diary, don't you?
I do. I was just going to say, yeah, it's in your diary every day.
Yeah, planning every single morning. Every single morning.
And I don't ever book anything in it, and neither does anybody else, because
and now and again, once in a blue moon, somebody can book something at my discretion. But it's for training, because I've got a discipline. It's for, and it was for chess. I was doing a lot of learning chess, and it's for just mindset. It's just for taking my time. It's to avoid that. It's to avoid that up straight away out your bed, and then you're straight into it. And the thing, because the first thing I used to do when I get out of my bed in the morning is that I never went to brush my teeth or anything like that. I just went straight through to the next room and I sat at my computer. And then once I'd finished what I needed to do, I went and did that, because I was taught by other people who were probably not as successful as me, who were probably just Instagrammers looking for attention. It's like, let's be the 5 o'clock club. Let's be the 4 a.m. club, the 3 a.m. club. Let's get up and do all these things. Yeah, come on. It's like, and then when you look at them, it's like, you're just trying to get attention. You're actually not successful in this field at all. I've never heard Alex Hormozy say anything like that of acquisition.com. Never heard Bezos say that. I've never heard, I mean, literally, well, mind you, Branson goes to bed at 9 o'clock and gets up at 5. He literally has 8 hours every single time. He's religious in that. He actually disappears when you're all sitting eating, and it's like you're sitting eating, and it's like, where is he gone? Oh, he's away his bed. It just didn't even say see you later. It just like maybe says see you later for a couple of people with the side of you. That's it. And then he's just like, where's he away? It's like, oh, he's away his bed. It's past 9. Religious.
Yeah.
Bezos does the same. 8 hours. He talks about it in lots of blogs. So when you think about the logic of that, it makes absolute sense. Is schedule boredom. Do not take your phone to the toilet with you. And guess what you'll be doing? You'll be practicing mindfulness. You'll be an expert, because you've not got anything to distract you when you're on the toilet. Isn't that great?
It's true, though.
You'll be a mindfulness guru, an expert. You'll be able to tell everybody, don't take any money when you go to the toilet. But that's effectively what you're doing. So, you know, you talked about that. Create before consuming, schedule boredom, and try and block one of your screens for a day. Just do without it completely.
And I think the important thing is not to try and put all these things into action at once and, you know, make this a big checklist or anything. Pick one thing and think about which one of these things would change your life or your the fastest, or would have the best impact.
That's a question we could definitely ask the audience. It's which one thing would change your life fastest?
And then do that.
Yeah, I hear you. So why are you not doing it then?
Yeah, and that's an uncomfortable question.
Yeah. You're sitting thinking there right now, the other people out there, people listening in, tuning in, you're thinking there's one thing that could change your life the fastest. Why are you not doing it? Think about that. What's stopping you?
Yeah.
Is it this? Constantly picking it up? Constantly reading your email? Constantly doing everything else? This is the things that you've got to audit in your life to understand, to get to your emotional peak overall. Yeah, I think that's what you have to do. So let me ask some questions, Richard.
Yeah.
Of everybody. Does your screen time explain your income? Just for me. I know it does for me.
Yeah, I was just like I said, my phone and my laptop things are a big part of what I do every day.
But then, could I be honest? It will for everybody out there as well.
Yeah.
If you've not got 2 pennies to rub together and you're stony broke, it's the same. It's the same for you. Your screen time explains your income. Because I used to say to Elaine all the time, I use this to create content, to attract attention, to make an income.
Yeah.
That's it. The day I stop doing that is the day I'll never be on this again, which was actually almost the whole of last year.
But then what you can do though is you could always allocate an hour or two later in the evening or something where you don't have any screen time, and just kind of, like you say, go and walk the dog or go for a walk somewhere and do something just to kind of recalibrate your brain and not have any screen time or noise affecting it.
Does your screen time explain your stress?
It's a good one.
It is, isn't it? Think about the amount of times you get really annoyed about somebody, what they've said something on social media. Look at the fights that happen in between people, and it's like they're not even in the same room.
That's ridiculous.
Think about the emotional stress it brings for that reason. And then my question to you then is, why are you letting it happen? Because you can change your reaction to it. You could just switch it off. That's why some people leave social media. And I'm in a quandary going, why would you just leave social media? Just don't look at it. Just ignore it. Walk on by. This is what I used to have a response to some of the trolls, and I went, jog on, mate. That was it. It's like, and that's the same sort of thing. If you're stressed about something, then jog on. Don't leave it alone. Does it also explain your screen time? Does it also explain why you feel stuck?
I suppose it could do, yeah.
Oh, I definitely think it does. It does explain why you feel stuck. This is the point, to audit where you are right now, where you want to be. Let's close this off. Let's talk about this. Let's close this off. Let's reframe stuff here. Let me just explain. Entertainment isn't the enemy. So entertainment isn't the enemy. Unconscious consumption is. TikTok. You don't know what's happening to you. It's designed to be addictive. Facebook Reels are the other one. You know, they've just gone the same way, because TikTok, they said they would never ever do it, and then TikTok came along and did it, and they went, well, flipping heck, we've just shot ourselves in the foot. We should have just done it. Because they didn't want to do it, because they realised that it would have that effect. But then they just thought, we're just going to do it. And attention is the real currency. Because attention leads to monetization. Behavior and monetization. Think about the most people that have got the most attention in this world, and think about how wealthy they are in relation to that. Even if they're good or bad. Even if they're good or bad. Think about that. Your future's really listening, isn't it? What are you feeding it? What are you feeding it?
Yeah.
Let's put the people out there. What are you feeding it? Your future is listening. What are you feeding it? What do you want? Who's the person you want to be in 10 years' time? Why are you not doing that now? Why are you not trying to be that person? It's the one step that you've got to take. You can't run a marathon unless you take the first step. But because the first step is so simple to take, you actually keep delaying it. But you'll never run the marathon if you don't.
Yeah, it's like you're saying, the 30-minute run that you keep putting off, when you add all them up, it results in you not being prepared for the marathon.
So I think that the most important point to take out of this then is, just for this week, just notice things that you're doing. I don't want you to judge. Don't judge yourself. Don't be guilty about it. But just begin to notice the things that you're doing, the habits you've formed, the things that you think are keeping you back. Write them down. Take a note of them. Remind yourself of them, because the brain's fantastic in forgetting things that are actually a negative experience.
Mm-hmm.
It starts to blot it out. It starts to get you to forget about it, because the brain just wants you to feel nice about yourself all the time. So it does these sort of things. It wipes these things out, these memories. Like when I go up Kilimanjaro 10 years ago and I went, I'm never coming back here. 10 years later, I do it again.
There you are, yeah.
And then I thought, when I was halfway up in the summit, I went, this was like this last time. Why did I not remember
Why am I here again?
Why did I not remember this?
But that's a good example of, it's not maybe that fulfilling or, you know, at the time, but afterwards, the achievement and the exhilaration and all that comes after it, because you put the hard work in.
Yeah. But it's like what Elaine used to, it's like what Elaine says to me. When we're talking about childbirth, she says the first time when Tony came, it was like, never again. And the next minute we've got Ben. Never again. And the next minute we've got Scott.
Yeah.
So how is it never again? I said to her, she says, I don't know, you just forget.
The reward was worth it. So,
you just forget what it was like. I'm thinking you could forget that.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Anyway, thanks very much, Richard, for your time again, and everybody tuning in, everybody listening, everybody commenting, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye for now.